All right, explaining towers. Oh god. Okay. So towers are like connectors, except when you send a signal into them, they send out a code. So let me follow this with the let me go from activation to like how the works. So this button has a signal code of 167, which is the signal code of this thing. This is a AND gate, which means that it only sends out a signal when all of the lights are on. So it has sig conditions 1, 2, and 3, and its activation code is the signal code is 167, which is the input code. The activation code is the code that goes out. Or is it? No. Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. So when this code is sent, when this sends to this, it tells the thing that there is a signal for 2, and that makes the 2 variable on this list become true. And there was to be a little tiny light there. Now, now this has like a range of 2, so it will only activate towers that are within 2 areas of it, like 2 tiles of it. And this is 554, so there should be a corresponding tower 554. You can also activate these tiles by just having connectors. That's why there's this horrible connector thing here. This 554, which leads into this, that activates this tower, which causes 3 to activate, causes this connector, which causes 1 to activate. Now this this is a puzzle. This is a horrible, nightmarish puzzle where you have to press the buttons and just hope that all 3 lights turn on, because when you turn on one light, another one might turn off. Yeah, it's a nightmare. And when this is fully lit, it will send a code to this one, which is 987. 987, 987, right there. You may also notice in the list here that there's numbers next to these. I did that to keep track, because you're likely going to lose track if you use towers this much. The reason that they have a signal range is because I didn't want them to, due to the chance that there may be other maps that use the same codes, I have the signal ranges like shortened to like 4 or like 2 or like very short distances to like avoid overlap. Like I don't want my pressure plate from this map to activate something in a completely unrelated map. So as you can see, as I explained in the last video, these activators, when supplied signal, will open this door. And I think, oh right, there was an issue. So this thing doesn't actually send a signal unless I send a signal into it. So I had to, when it's all green, you have to press this button, which then activates this, which signals into this, that sends a signal to this thing, and then maybe I made this too complicated. It doesn't matter. For like boss rooms, you may want the pressure plates to lead into one of these or into a connectors. So it is really up to you if you want them to be towers or connectors. Although much of like the logic gates and stuff are connected to the tower system. Like AND gates are tower, keypads, which you can make, are tower. Keypads work by having a code solution, usually or I think it has to be a 4-digit number, which releases a code. Now, there's the signal code and there's the fail signal code. If you input the wrong password, this signal releases. And if you input the correct password, this signal releases. This variable here, the transmitter, is just like, you see that red node at the bottom? When a tower receives a ping from another tower, it will ping the tile that it's facing. If it's set to transmitter, it will not do that because it's a transmitter. It's supposed to send out when pinged. And what else am I forgetting? There's also projectile launcher, which functions similarly to the spawner, except it just shoots like a projectile in the direction it's facing. Honestly, very simple. In order to change its direction, just do this. I don't know if I mentioned it, but all of this does require strong DMM, because you need to see the variables, and also you can like right click, copy type, and then like paste that into there, even though that would probably cause issues. And I think that's everything. I went over the activator. The adapters, they're just like, you don't need to learn about those unless you really want to get into like messing with signalers and stuff. Announcer, connector, split. I went over that. I went over that. These things are not implemented yet. I'm actually working on like a PR for activators that send a signal when given an item. So look forward to that. All right. That should be everything.